I enjoy hosting these classes, and I made my wife take one because she rides with me on my motorcycle in case I ever go down. And obviously it's good information to have if y'all are on group rides or see somebody who's injured. Hi, my name is Michael Mobies. I'm an attorney in Atlanta. I help motorcycle riders and car wreck victims and people who get injured at work primarily. Today we're hosting an accident scene management class in Evans, Georgia, which is a suburb of Augusta, with the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association here. Basically, you're learning first aid for if a fellow biker goes down, so it's a great skill set to have if you ride in groups or around other riders, because at some point, if you ride long enough, you're probably going to encounter someone who's unfortunately been hit or just gone down because of a deer or a car. Funny, I make the joke that insurance adjusters can be bastards to work with, but I call it job security. But that doesn't mean that I like it, right? So, there's plenty of, unfortunately, incidents between people texting or driving while high or drunk or just speeding, not paying attention. And if there's a motorcycle rider nearby, that could be the person who's hit by one of these people who's doing the wrong thing behind the wheel. And so I want to be able to help them. But do I want any of these people that are in this room right now to have a wreck? Heck no. It's like I don't want anyone in my Combat Vets group or American Legion Riders group to have an incident. But if they do, we want people who have had the training like I have, like I asked my wife to go to because she rides with me, to know how to take care of someone if they go down. It may have been the first class I ever sponsored over at the Legion in Marietta, which is my Legion, Post 29. I have their patch on my vest. And someone introduced me to a guy in the class who's a trauma nurse and had been one in the military. And so we kind of bonded because when I served, I was a medical service corps officer. So I basically admitted you're a healthcare administrator in that role. So I say, when I'm talking to a civilian, like I took care of the doctors and nurses. I was the OIC for different components of the AirVac system. So I was around trauma nurses all the time and I know their sense of humor. It's usually black humor. And so we kind of bonded. And then he said he wanted to learn to be an instructor for his group here in Augusta, which is great because, we're 2.5 hours away from Atlanta. There's a lot of riders over here. It's hard for them to come to Atlanta for training, of course. And, so I told him like, hey, he asked, in fact, if I host a class once I get my certification, will you sponsor in Augusta? I said, absolutely. So it's a chance to meet and be in front of a new group of people, but they're getting the same training, and we're all sort of, brothers in arms, so to speak. So these are all fellow veterans who are learning these skills, which is similar to the self-aid buddy care that we got in the military, but it's geared toward motorcycle riders.
I'm gonna get up under her arms here, and I'm gonna grab clothing, okay? I'm literally just gonna, oops, sorry.
My name is Lexi Huey, and I ride with the CVMA chapter Georgia 25. We are taking the safety class for bystanders, basically in a motorcycle accident. I think it's great information. You definitely learn the ins and outs of just basics, do and do not do, and it so far already has helped me feel more secure about if something were to happen to one of my guys on a ride. I wouldn't feel as helpless. Even with the fact that it is a class, we're having fun, so it's a little funny, but it's also thinking of like being yourself in that situation is at least you know what to expect, that's what they're doing to you, so it kind of preps you mentally for, hey, if I go down, I know what they're supposed to do.
Where our goal is, we're gonna get into, what we're looking for is the rise and fall of the chest. I'm, for a career, I'm a registered nurse. I'm also a paramedic, life member of the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, and I've been a lifelong rider. Been riding since got my first mini bike when I was 5 or 6. Had a motorcycle license in Texas since I was 15. Teaching a accident scene motorcycle, basically what happens when a bike goes down, kind of the initial response to the accident, how to, one, keep the other people safe, yourself safe, how to keep the injured rider safe, how to assess them, how to treat them, how to activate, 911, just the kind of the initial, response to when there's a motorcycle accident. My attitude is basically like when I was an Army medic. We had combat lifesavers, you don't always have a medic, or what if it was me that I went down? I want people that I'm riding with to have that same training. Inherently, what we do is a dangerous sport. People are becoming more distracted drivers. There's more motorcycle accidents. With my background in EMS as a paramedic, that initial response can be very, very critical between somebody living or dying or having permanent catastrophic injuries. So taking the time and training my fellow bikers in things, one, experience I've seen as a 911 paramedic, but with also my medical knowledge, but also knowing that, hey, I may be the guy that's laying in the ditch and that needs that help. And we ride in big group rides. I want other people that have that same training that can take care of me, and then, or we can take care of somebody else.
My name is Chris Jones. I'm a member of the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, 25-6 here in Augusta, Georgia.
And I'm Jenny Jones. I am Chris's wife, better half, and I am the auxiliary liaison for CVMA Chapter 25-6 in Augusta, Georgia.
I am taking the motorcycle safety course, if not to help her in the future, someone else. Within minutes of my accident, our accident, there were 4 members of our chapter that responded.
That was before any emergency personnel even made it.
Emot himself, of course, being a medic, and he has had the training, and the others, I believe, are taking it in the future.
They had some training,
Yeah.
for sure.
Through military background, they've had training, but not this specific course, but I do recommend this course. I'm learning a lot. Keep calm, to stay steady, be vigilant, and try to assure that the individual that we're helping can remain calm and know that they've been in an accident, but to reassure them that we're there to help.
And like I said, I experienced this personally. Recently, I jumped out, and even though I felt a little bit bad for this old lady who was leaving the graveyard who hit me, I was still taking pictures of her tag, the police report, the damage to my car and all that stuff, because I knew that if she changes her mind about who was at fault or says she can't remember something, I wanted to have documented evidence, and so
Helps.
Well, he was initially a sponsor for the class that my chapter officers went to, and that's when he found out about the CVMA, and he actually joined because he's prior service and a combat veteran, and so that's how he got involved in the CVMA. But that's how I met him, through his sponsorship of these courses. He's in another one of our chapters here in Georgia. But it's nice, one, having that input from somebody that is well-versed in that trial part of the laws and everything when it comes to personal injury. But it's also when, an attorney can know all the laws, but if they don't understand the mindset of a biker and being a biker, and then, obviously being, a fellow veteran, those are just kind of all check the blocks pluses to me. Because he kind of understands the mindset, not just of, being an attorney that takes care of personal injuries, but somebody that actually understands the passion and why we ride.
Absolutely, because like you said, he is a combat vet and a brother of mine. I definitely think, showing that love and support within your own community is definitely a big thing, and I would more than likely go to him before seeking outside help, because he's gone through the same type of struggles that I have.
With him sponsoring it, being a combat veteran as well, he's put in the money and the effort, come down from Atlanta, help support this. He's chipped in to reduce the fees for the class for us. He got up and spoke a little about insurance and what he does and what we should be looking at to cover ourselves and our buddies in the future.
Yeah, it's sponsored by the Road Guardians. Mickey is the leader, but you can reach out to me. I'm on social media at Call Colonel Mo on, Instagram, X, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Call Colonel Mo or molaw.com. Of course, my phone number is 404-354-5432. But yeah, molaw.com is probably the easiest. But I'd be happy to sponsor one of these classes anywhere in Georgia, or if you're in another state, NAML, the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. I'm a member of that group, and that allows me to form partnerships and friendships with lawyers in other states all over the country who care as well. And most of them are riders like me and care about riders' safety. So we can definitely hook you up.